I think it's the 24th of October 2019. I'm going to break down year-long business. I'm going to break down year-long business like someone asked me to. And then I got some commentary right after I break it down. So, the video opens up with me probably hearing some commotion at the end of the mall, right? Terry and Anthony, or Anthony is well, hold on, let me read my notes. So we end up at the end of the mall. I walk down there to see what's going on. Apparently, Anthony is telling Anthony Finley that he's down for whatever, right? From observations from 2013, I surmise that Sequoia and Anthony were together. I tried to get Sequoia to get Anthony out of there. I'm trying to calm it down. I'm really just trying to separate the parties. So when people tell me like, "Oh, you always escalating something," I'm trying to calm it down. I don't understand. People make stupid comments all the time. Now, Anthony was down for whatever. And even though he had been shot in the arm or the elbow at the Four Seasons over by Jonesboro Road at some point in time, that was my understanding. Despite him having the cast on his arm, he's ready to go. I mean, you can watch the video and tell that. Terry's not knowing what's going on. Comes down there trying to figure out what's on. So the situation is escalating, right? Now, it's really important that you understand that what you have to understand and why this situation is occurring. I'm pretty sure somebody said something to somebody, but even more importantly than that, Anthony Finley, who's the guy in, I think, the red or burgundy shirt with the white stripes on it, because I'm not looking at the video now. I looked at the video 2 days ago. Well, he's the one who, to my understanding, shot Fred, their brother. He shot Fred. Why did he shoot Fred? Well, to my understanding, Fred was upset with Anthony. It had something to do with, I don't know. I guess they had just recently broke up. His girlfriend, Viona Hickson. So, I guess Fred, confronted him about something, and then there was an altercation, and then, Fred got shot. It's also important to know that this happened around 2013, right around when the NCAA tournament was there, either just before or while it was there, and that you didn't hear, and it happened downtown. I'm not saying downtown on that block, but it happened in downtown Atlanta. You didn't hear about it in the print media, but you didn't hear about it on the radio. You didn't see it on TV, and you didn't read about it in the print media. Seems like there was a media blackout about this shooting. Isn't that interesting? The thing goes outside, right? Let me see what my notes say. That's not important. So the thing goes outside, they start walking down the street. So one of the criticisms, well, it went outside, you started walking down the street, right? And you should have just stopped at the mall because that's your responsibility. Listen, something that happened in 2013, something that happened between Anthony Finley, or possibly, I don't know, possibly happened between Anthony Finley and Viona Hickson, somewhere not in the mall, right? Not in the mall, came into the mall. So those situations that happened someplace ended up being dealt with in the mall over a year later. So this beef that started, or a problem that started someplace else, and it spilled into the mall. And this is not the first time something like that's happened. So when you say that I'm doing too much because I'm too nosy and I'm doing things that I shouldn't do, yeah, I got to do this. Because you don't know anything about the area, anything about the people, anything about what the hell you're talking about. And you should probably just stop commenting and with all due respect, just shut the fuck up. So I'm walking down there because I need to monitor the situation. Right? I need to see what's going on. Right? I need to see if these people are going to fight, if it's going to escalate maybe into a shooting. It has been my experience that when I am present, just my presence will stop a lot of things. I don't really have to do anything. My camera's recording evidence. I'm monitoring the situation. And my presence just stops a lot of things. Now, here's a perfect example of how much liability you want to take on. Because there's things that I could do if stuff jumps off, but do you want to take on that liability? So I recently advised someone, don't do anything, don't take on any more liability than you can afford to fight in court. This is really, really important. Do not take on any more liability than what you can afford to fight in court. So, I don't want to take on but so much liability. I'm not running down there. I'm just walking. And, because I know the backstory, I think it wise to involve law enforcement so it doesn't escalate into something more serious and that possibly some people end up dying or going to fucking prison. So when you're commenting about what I should and should not do, just shut the fuck up because you don't know anything. Really. You just, shut up. Keep your fingers in your pockets. Keep them off the keyboard. It's like taking it down the street. Right? And if I had to do anything, I got to be able to justify my use of force anyway. And you don't want to do anything unless it becomes unnecessarily too violent. Once again, do not take on any more liability than you can afford to fight in court. And you better know some law, and you just be able to justify all your actions. Oh my God, do I carry a camera? Oh, I do. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And Shannon Jones was down there yelling, and I don't know why the hell she was running off at the mouth, but, whatever. So, in any event, the Smith brothers decided to walk it back up the street. So, I end up not calling in law enforcement because I'm thinking it's over and it's done. And so now my main concern really is to get Terry to understand his newfound priorities in life. He's got a girlfriend, he's got a kid, and he's got a job to help support his girlfriend and support his child. These should be his priorities. So, and I'm trying to, urgently get him to understand that. And then something jumps off behind me. So, now I got to go handle that situation. Terry jumps in. There's a fight going on. I have no idea who these two guys are and what their relationship is to Anthony Finley. I have no idea what's going on. To this day, I don't know what was going on with those two dudes. Right? Anyway, we seem to get that broken up, and I got dude going out the door, and for whatever reason, Anthony decides to clock him. Why did he hit him? I have no idea as to why he hit him, right? But he's doing all kinds of extra shit, right? I make sure that the guy gets his hat because I don't need any reason. I don't need him to have any reason to want to come back into that place. None at all. So that's why I literally made him pick up his hat. No, pick up your hat, take it with you, right? Now my policy is if you're fighting in the mall, I don't care who started, gotta go. See you later, bye, peace, deuces, right? But I'm also still trying to get Terry to understand his newfound priorities, and if his brothers want to be in the streets, then he just kind of let them need to be in the streets, right? You got a child, that takes priority sometimes over your brothers. If your brothers are out there doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing, right? You got to let them handle that. That's your child. That child depends upon you. It doesn't depend upon Fred and Anthony. The child depends upon you, the father, Terry. So, some stuff, you got to move differently. And, that's what I'm trying to get them to understand. So, that is really the breakdown of what goes on. The rest of it, Anthony's trying to get back to his booths, his place of business, so he can have if they get attacked, they can have a stronger legal defense. Terry's worried about being boxed in because shots might be fired. He don't want to be boxed in. Anthony don't want to be on the street because then he feels like he's more vulnerable. I just need them both gone. So, there's two videos named Year-Long Business. At the end of the other one is called Epilogue. Right? Because apparently, Anthony and Terry and Fred, Anthony and Terry came back and Fred was with them. Now, apparently, and I'm not going to tell you which brother had it, but apparently they brought a weapon down there. Because I was told that they brought a weapon down there, and where they happened to, never mind. But anyway, in any event, they brought a weapon down there, and they definitely came down there looking for some problems, and lucky for them, and lucky for them, that person or the people they were looking for were gone. Because at that point, they came down there looking, they lost all their claim to self-defense. Now we're talking premeditated murder. And listen, in my videos, there's a guy named Danny Marshall. And I think it's Danney Marshall. And how you search my channels, in YouTube is GRSE, and do whatever keywords that you want to put in there. Right? Well, Danny Marshall apparently somewhere in 2015 or 16 or something like that, who's very well known downtown. He'd be downtown all the time. Well, he shot and murdered somebody. I don't know why. It probably wasn't necessary. It was probably over something that was an inconvenience, or some form of someone being disrespectful, or challenge. I don't know, but you know what? Dude was right around 30. I'm not sure if he cracked 30 or is at 30, right? Or but he was right around 30. I'm not sure if he cracked 30 or just over 30. Whatever. Right around 30 years of age. His sentence was life without parole. No chance for parole. Life without parole. And had Terry, Anthony, and Fred engaged those people when they brought that firearm down there, and somebody had died, I don't know if they would have got life without parole. But they would be gone for a very long time. When people tell me that I'm doing too much of my businesses in the mall and not outside the mall, I could point to situations where all I had to do was stand there and nothing jumped off. Right? Anthony felt I was being a super cop and I couldn't wait to get my gun off, which is, the furthest from the truth. Some people think I couldn't wait to get my taser off, which is furthest from the truth. Those damn cartridges cost $30 and $40 a piece. I did not want those. That's a very expensive shot. That was not my goal. My goal was never to hurt people. If I wanted to see people get hurt, and I wanted to be dirty, and I wanted to put people in prison and do all kinds of stuff, I would have did that thing completely differently. what I done down there. It'd been completely different. Man, you have no idea how different. No, my presence stopped a lot of things. I tell you, when I wasn't down there, I think in 2015, a number of people got shot in downtown Atlanta. That may not happen had I been down there, because I was well known for having that camera. I was well known for intervening or trying to do something, or just being Johnny on the spot if something was going on. And I was also well known for calling law enforcement if that's what I thought needed to be done, which I didn't do as much as people think I did. Which is, one of the reasons why you have all these damn videos. Yeah, but if the situation was serious, and you can hear in those videos, especially if you watch Year-Long Business Epilogue, sometimes I felt forced to become a peace officer. That was my role. Not a law enforcement officer, but a peace officer. And the part of being a peace officer was calling law enforcement. Then, that's what kind of needed to be done. That's what's going to keep people out of prison. Oh man, this fool called the police. Yeah, man, we better bounce. Good enough. I can't control anything. If you just really, really seriously go away. MLK to Alabama Street on Peachtree and Broad. I was going to affect my influence from MLK to Alabama on Peachtree and Broad. Look it up on Google Maps, right? Anything that I could do within that sphere that seemed reasonable to me, because I don't care what you think about my philosophy and how I chose to secure that place, because you really had to, because it was a loose-knit neighborhood, you really had to watch what was going on everywhere. And you had to have, if you could get that information, know what was going on, where they came from, and did they have any beefs with each other, and was there a problem with each other, because that stuff could spill into the mall. And I mean, like, you won't even see this in the videos because that those files got damaged. But there's a cat named Steve, and Steve was playing poker with some fellas and one of his relatives, and his cousin, shot him dead. That could easily spilled into the mall. That melee incident, that started, I think, at Grady Hospital. What they doing fighting in the mall? What else? Oh, yeah. Where old boy stole dude's 45. Yeah. How did I find out about that? That could have easily spilled into the mall. There's a number of things. Anyway, listen, I'm done with this video. I'm going to upload it, and I'm going to put in cards and links to Year-Long Business in the description box, and in cards at the end of this video, and there it is, and we done with it. All right, deuces.